Hey Cam, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, during this whole process, was there any time that you really gave thought that you might not be a Pittsburgh Steeler for life, and what was that like?
Man, to be honest, 48 hours ago, I could have thought something different. You know, this was a testament to a lot of people getting this done, whether it was my agent, Michael Parrott, or Mr. Rooney, Kevin Colbert, Omar Khan, and Coach T. This was a combination of a lot of different people getting this done. Uh, there was a lot of doubt in my head for a good bit. We're dealing with the pandemic, and we're not dealing with normal circumstances, and you just never know. And you can ask my family. I've been a bit of a headache, and this is something we've had to build towards. But I'm glad to say it got done, and um, I'm honored and humbled to get a new contract. But at the end of the day, I understand the job's not done. The numbers out there, but it's up for me to attain that.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN.
Cammy, you said that 48 hours ago you thought that things could have ended up a lot differently. What was your reaction when you first got word that the ball was actually rolling and that it looked like you guys were going in the direction of ultimately announcing the new contract last night?
We have been going back and forth for a good bit. For a while there, I think once we agreed to it, it was like I think both sides were like, wow, we were spent through this. Obviously we were all happy to get this done, but this took a lot of work to get done. When I say 48 hours, I feel like there was a time where this was almost dead, to be completely honest. I was getting ready for farewells and getting ready for my farewell tour, and this being my last ride. But I'm excited to get this done. I've always wanted to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, nowhere else, and I couldn't see myself being anywhere else. But I had to be ready for that reality.
Chris Adamski, Trib.
Cam, how you doing? Congrats.
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Thank you.
Mark and Brooke both kind of took my question. It did seem like when we talk to you, and you're usually pretty open. I know there's a level of secrecy in negotiations, but both the Steelers and you both, to be honest, not pessimistic throughout this whole summer and everything else. So,
right.
And it, like I said, I think you've already answered it, but it did kind of come together here pretty quickly in the last week or so.
So I would say we started about 3 weeks ago, but then talks kind of broke off this past week, and to be honest with you, I thought it was dead. I didn't think we were even gonna even get there at all. But man, we even yesterday, I came up here around 8:00 in the morning. I won't divulge what was said, but me and Mr. Rooney got to talking, and I'm just appreciative of him. I understand it's a family business. I understand that how serious he takes this. But along with that, I wanted to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, and he made that happen for me.
Tim Benz, Trib.
Cam, I was wondering how much of a relationship you forged over the years with Aaron Smith and Brett Kiesel, and whether it was going into this process, any time during your career, what you have talked to them about when it comes to playing this position and this defense into your 30s. What can you glean from those guys? What words of wisdom might have they given you?
And I've had the opportunity to play with those guys, and I can't say how vital they've been to my success. Aaron only had it for 1 year, and I get to still see Aaron around. He lives pretty close to me, and his kids are all over the place in different sports and such. But me and Brett have a relationship that we've talked almost all the time, and I've always just asked them about things, even when it's the highs or the lows. Brett's always provided a lot of advice for me, and I think Brett always told me you're going to keep getting better. You know, you haven't hit your prime, and I really took that to heart. You know, I felt like there's another gear for me to hit, and I'm entering my 30s, but shoot, I was behind those guys for so long. I got to play catch up. So I kind of feel like I'm still in my late 20s.
Mike Prizzuta, DVE.
Cam, we had talked to you a couple weeks ago, and you mentioned that you understood the circumstances of the pandemic, but you also added NFL business is being done, or words to that effect.
Right.
What compelled you to kind of raise your hand and say, hey, what about me? And do you think it was effective?
No, I never looked at what about me. Obviously I didn't know to the extent of if they wanted to do a deal or not. I had a conversation before we even got started with Mr. Rooney, with my intentions to, let him know that I'm locked in on this season no matter what. I'd like to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. And he let it know then, we'll see what we can do. It's been a process to get to this point. I can't, stress that enough. But, this was something that's just not done just out of comfortability or, just to do it. I feel like they believe in me, and I feel like they think I can earn this contract.
Will Graves, Associated Press.
Cam, did you thank Bud for leaving that 2-year, $200 million deal on the table so you could get paid?
Well, Bud left it for me, and so I'm leaving it for TJ and Mika. So it's just getting passed on. I appreciate Bud taking the discount, but, there are a lot more guys to be paid, and rightfully so. I know everybody likes to make a big hoopla about today, but there's going to be more paydays down the road, and, my guys deserve it.
Follow-up from Mark Cabali, The Athletic.
Hey, Cam, on a little bit of a lighter note, can you divulge who your Photoshop guy is and how much does he charge?
Nah, it's me. You got to pay me. So, Mark, you need me to, fit you in any videos, you let me know. I'll make it happen. I'm $50 a minute, though, so time is money.
Good question. Jeff Hawthorne, 93.7.
Hey, Cam, was there a time in this process where you thought, I'm not going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler anymore?
Yes. To be blatantly honest, for me personally, I'm a very emotional person, and I'm a very I feel with my heart a lot, and so quietly I was trying to distance myself to a bit, and I was trying to prepare if there was a moment that I wasn't going to be a big Pittsburgh Steeler. Not to say I didn't want to be, but I had to wrap my head around this being the last ride.
Follow-up for Mike Prizzuta, DVE.
Cam, nobody has any experience preparing for a season this way. Do you at all feel, in terms of your readiness and the team's readiness, do you have any kind of grasp of that?
Honestly, I think we have a good team, but we won't see till, week one. We're kind of under the college rules. You don't get a preseason. You can compete against each other. And we've kind of had to ramp up the process. It's not like college where you get a couple months to, really, beat each other up and prepare for the season. We kind of had, the phase 1, the phase 2, the phase 3. But now we're here. I think everybody's excited to finally hit somebody other than our teammates. Offense and defense have been going at each other's throats the entire camp. So we're going to let the offense off the hook a little bit.
Hugh Ringer, 96.7.
Cam, obviously you've indicated you've gone through a lot of emotions in this process.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you take a deep breath and realize this is done, are you looking ahead to this year and your future several years down the road and setting specific goals for yourself?
First of all, I want to say you have a great voice, great radio voice. That was awesome. But along with that, I didn't start getting excited till today. even last night, man, I'm still a little bit drained, but I was physically spent after this, because it took everything to get to this point. But along with that, man, I'm excited, man. We got a great team, and I know I'm guaranteed this year. I got to work for those extra 4, but I'm gonna make sure I try to do my part to end up here for the rest of my career.
Just 2 more, guys. We got a follow-up for Will Graves, AP.
Yeah, Cam, that wasn't my actual question about Bud. But that's sort of the problem with this format, so they can't tell when I'm kidding or not. Look, your dad bounced around a lot towards the end of his career. How important it was to you to kind of not have that happen? I mean, he just wanted to go where the work was, but It's also rare that NFL players get to stay in one city their entire careers.
Yeah, it's funny because like me, it was my grandmother's birthday yesterday, and we were all over her house, and we were just talking about stuff. And my mom was just, there was a time where Atlanta was offering him a contract, and he had just come off a Pro Bowl year, and they were ready to go in a different direction. To be in such a different situation than what my dad goes through, I always feel like I'm competing against him. And I kind of like it that way. It lets me know that he's still there, and it keeps me grounded. But, to be in a city where, I was born, I have family, it's meant a lot to me. But not only that, it's a city that I'm embedded to the community, and it's a city that, I love playing for.
All right, the last question's a follow-up for Chris Adamski with the Trib.
How was this different than, you went through this process once before 5 years ago? Was it different, just by life experience? Was it different, the pandemic? What was that, did you have the same types of anxieties that summer of 2015 when you were working on a deal?
Well, when the first time I went around, I had no kids. And, me and my wife were talking about that. It's crazy to think, and I think it was 2015 we agreed to a deal. But, having kids, going through a pandemic, just the level of uncertainty was at an all-time high. The salary cap changing, not knowing what a team can do in these situations. It played a big role with anxiety, man. I've been reading my Bible. I've been at Bible study a bunch because I needed it, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I needed a lot of counseling and a lot of guidance through this, but I'm glad we were able to get it done.